Editing Maggie popping in here just to give a content warning for this episode for some discussions of suicide. Other than that, I hope that you enjoy the episode. Hello everyone, welcome back to Fully Functional, a TNG podcast. I'm Maggie, joined by Jeff and Dory.
Yo.
Jeff and I are huge Star Trek nerds, and Dory is a Star Trek novice, and we are taking her on her first journey through Star Trek The Next Generation. Today we'll be discussing the Season 4 episode, Night Terrors. Original air date, March 16th, 1991. And as always, we'll take it to Dory for the recap.
This episode was a night terror to me.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This was a horror episode.
I did not like it for many reasons. Not even the fact that it's a horror episode, and I don't like horror. I don't like to be scared. This was a stressful episode, and I did not like it. Okay. All right. So Enterprise is like whatevering in space, and they may have located the USS Britain. Whatever. It says missing science vessel that has not been heard from in 29 days.
Fun fact, they misspell the name of the ship several times in the episode. Or actually, they either misspell it once in a really, really bad instance, or they misspell it several other times, depending on how it's actually supposed to be spelled. But the way that it's spelled on the hull of the ship is Brittain, and the way that it's spelled on all of the computers in the on both ships is Brattain. So, good times.
The Netflix subtitles was Brattain.
Great. So they spelled it wrong on the hull of the fucking ship. Good job, guys.
I guess the model department didn't get the memo.
Okay, so they find the ship. Troy senses life on board, but something is off. So they send an away team of Worf, Data, Riker, Dr. C, and then Troy's like, I'd like to come. And they're like, sure. So they get on this ship that's been missing for 29 days. No mask, no protection. They're just like, It's cool. We'll just see what happens. Thanks, guys. And then we see a lady has been impaled. Turns out, I guess that was the captain, I think. And then there's just like a fuck ton of dead people looking real absolutely rough. It is pretty fucking awful. Mm-hmm. So then like Troy senses a guy, but very important, but he didn't do this, so it's okay. Yeah. So it turns out, oh man, this guy, his name is Andrus Hagen. He's a Betazoid. Oh, so he is absolutely fucked up from this and is catatonic, which like can't blame him. This was bad. Okay, so there's like voices or something. I don't know. This whole episode is voices. Okay, so when we did like the wide shot, I wrote in my notes, the Enterprise could eat the Britain. It's so big. Yeah. Okay, so Dr. C did the autopsies of 34 people, and they killed each other. Great.
She did those autopsies really fast.
Yeah, listen, she's efficient.
Yeah, time doesn't mean anything also.
I just assumed she took her little scan and just like head to toe on these people and just moved on to the next one. And was like, okay.
Yeah,
autopsies killed by someone in this room.
Yeah, autopsies probably don't take as long in the future.
Yeah,
and she had help.
The Y incision.
Yeah,
I guess. So then they watch the captain's logs, and oh boy, looks like she was very paranoid. There's like a mutiny, but then I guess she killed the mutineer. I don't know. It's confusing and upsetting. Anyways, so then we cut to Troy flying in green fog. And there's a voice saying, eyes in the dark, one moon. The eyes in the dark shit. That was actually scary to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that freaked me out.
While that thing is like too spoopy 5 me, what a really shit way to explain a hydrogen atom.
No, I think that's...
No, it's accurate, but like, why would you use some bizarre allegory like that?
Well, I don't know.
Reasons.
Maybe they're like
Okay, wait, don't
The
give them more credit
communication
than they deserve.
No. The aliens, like, communication isn't perfect. Maybe they just don't, like, it's a weird translation or something.
They don't have the periodic table.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible, but I'm doubting it.
So we find out it was a dream. Troy sits up and she's got still her sparkly bed sheets and whatnot. And she's in a really nice, like, light pink nightgown. It's very cute.
Although
Cool.
it's because it's like it's like a halter top.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like an interesting choice to be,
Yeah.
like, strangled while you're sleeping, I guess.
Yeah. It's also
To each their own, I guess.
Yeah, it's also very unrealistic that she doesn't just have like one boob hanging out.
True, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like anytime I wear a tank top to bed, it's just like
It's Boob City.
yeah, like neither of those girls are contained.
Population of my shirt, 0.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay. So Jordy.
Changes. Sorry.
So okay. Okay, so Jordy can't figure out, like, what's going on with the engine. It won't work. And I wrote, I think it's a body or something. I know that it wasn't, but I just kept thinking of, like, because the, like, other captain was like, they were trying to do something to the engine. So I just kept expecting someone to go to the engine and just find the dead body there, even though it was someone else's ship. Like, it's not on the Enterprise, but I literally kept
Just, like-
waiting for, like, a body to be there.
Just like gumming up the works. It's like, oh,
Yep. So then, okay, so now we, oh yeah, oh no, that was, Jordy says that they're in the other ship. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, they're actually in the Britain. They're not on the Enterprise. Okay, so then this young guy is just, like, standing there, and he's hearing clanking, and it's, like, great. And I thought, because he had lines, that he was going to be more important to the story.
yeah. I thought they were gonna kill him or something.
Yes, him and that other guy who had lines, Gillespie.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was going to die, too.
Also, the woman manning the con station on the bridge had
Yeah.
lines too.
Yeah, I was like, wow, they're giving all these lines to people. I guess they're gonna die. No,
Guess
they
they-
didn't.
Guess they were
just-
just rolling in budget that day. They could give everyone SAG, you know?
Yeah, they're just like,
Okay,
you
wait.
get membership, and you get membership, and
Maggie,
you get membership.
Maggie, let's be perfectly fair here. They took an old set that they had sitting in storage from Wrath of Khan, and they're like, cool, we've got our other ship.
Yeah. Fair.
You get a credit. You get a credit. So, okay, now we're with O'Brien. Keiko comes in, and she's like, oh, what a day. And he's just goes off on her about some guy named Tom. I'm like, O'Brien, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. I
Like-
was watching that and I'm like, oh no, I forgot about this. This is not going to endear him to Dory anymore.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
To
like,
be fair, he's
take
under
a
the
moment.
influence.
I know. I'm not holding that bit against him.
Yeah.
I am aware of that. I'm not gonna, like, but still, I was like, Christ.
Yeah.
He went to like 0 to 1,000 in like a second.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is this guy Tom? For some, why didn't they give Tom in this episode? Why didn't they show Tom and having lines? Like, they were just giving out everything this episode.
Well, it's just supposed to be
Anyway.
some guy he's like jealous of or some shit.
Yeah. Well, so then, like, O'Brien goes to 10 forward and he talks to another guy who I assumed was gonna die. No. He just
Yeah.
gets into a fight.
I thought that guy was Tom at first.
Oh, no, we find out later his name is Gillespie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he tells, like, he tells O'Brien a ghost story about, like, there was a guy in the lift, and then he was gone.
Yeah.
It's like, great, good story, guy.
Yeah.
So, okay, like, Picard is not, he's starting to struggle a little bit. So he's in his ready room, and someone is playing, like, Ding Dong Ditch.
Yeah.
And, like, he keeps getting, like, the buzzer, and he's like, come in, come. And nobody comes in. And then there's yes, okay, there, take
Thank
that
you.
as you will. Then there's a knock, and I was like, oh my god, a ghost. No,
Yeah.
it's just Dr. C and Troy.
For some reason, the knock was really scary because you never
Right?
hear anyone knocking in Star Trek.
Yeah, when they knocked, I was like, oh, this is it. What's
Yeah.
gonna happen? Nope, it was just Dr. C and Troy. They they have real true moment of brilliance when they're like, we think whatever happened on the Britain is happening here. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, guys. People are hearing sounds. People are being weird. And they need to, like, leave this area because it's not going to get better right now. So we meet the ensign who's at the comms with Data. Ensign Rager, she can't remember how to enter coordinates because, oh yeah, they're trying to leave. She just goes fully blank, which is
It's okay. She has a
upsetting
line.
for her. Yeah, she gets to say something, and she's been at that seat a few times the last few episodes, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so congratulations, Ensign Rager, you get a line and a name.
She at least looks like the same person.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was. But nothing is really working. They're basically just like drifting in space. But they're drifting in space now for 10 days.
Whoa, 10 days.
Yeah, but they're like, probably won't hear a response for another 2 weeks.
Why did it take them a month to get to this ship in the first place?
I don't know.
Like, they were like, oh,
no
we haven't
idea.
heard anything from them in 29 days. What, and you're the first people to come and take a look? What the fuck?
Well, it probably took a while for them to be like, hey, we haven't heard from them in a suspiciously long time. Enterprise, you go check it out. And then it took
Well, if
time
you
for
wait-
the Enterprise to get there.
Yeah, because it'll be like 24 days from when the Enterprise, like, if you got the 2 weeks, and then the other ship was lost for like 29 days. So honestly, that kind of tracks if it like takes a while for like their message to be received and get like a response. So
Okay, fair
not
enough.
not that. Now that I think about it, not that weird.
Yeah.
Why it was so long. Okay, so now we get a group scene, my favorite, where they are in something called a Tychon's Rift. They're basically trapped in a massive rupture in space, into which energy is absorbed. Are we surprised? Something to do with energy sucking something? Sorry. Man, this episode, I'm unintentionally saying.
Hilarious.
And we're real early on. Okay, here we go. So, Worf comes in and everybody like weirdly stops and he's like, I was detained, and everybody's just like, It's like, what is happening? People are suspicious of Worf. Worf is wonderful. So basically they need to like do like a violent explosion to get out of there. Just like the rift is named after the person who like got out of it for the first time. And they like did an explosion and busted out. Okay, so Riker is like not feeling himself. He's not feeling like himself.
I mean, he's not feeling himself either.
Yeah.
Not yet. Did you
Yeah,
see how
Riker's
he
not
was
like-
greeting all those dead people at the beginning of the episode?
Oh, Riker. So, yeah, Riker's not having a great time. He's, like, holding his tongue with, like, people saying shit. And so he says that, like, when he goes into his quarters, it feels like someone else was in there waiting for him. And I was like, it's a ghost. So Picard's like, go take a nap. I'll see you in four hours.
Yeah.
But Picard does not look well.
No.
No
No one looks well in this episode.
Yeah, everybody looks pretty fucking wrecked.
Yeah.
So Riker goes to his quarters and he's like a little sketched out, but he continues.
Oh, yeah, I'm
so
sorry. I totally didn't remember that this happened, so I'm sorry not to give you warning.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I would have been very nervous just like anticipating, so it's better that sometimes it's better I don't know.
Yeah.
So back in the lift, Picard is hallucinating the ceiling closing in on him, and
Oh, yeah, sorry, just
the
so people aren't confused, Riker sees snakes.
oh yeah, well that was next.
Oh, right.
That
sorry,
happens
I
after this.
thought,
Oh no worries. Oh no, I wouldn't have skipped that. I have thoughts.
Yeah.
And opinions on that.
that's what I was saying sorry about, was the snakes.
Oh yeah, no, I figured.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so Picard is like, yeah, he's hallucinating, ceiling is coming in, and then cut to the door opening, and Picard is like on the ground, and we get to see like a pretty good shot of the shoes, which I think I've seen. Like, this is the first time I get a really good glimpse of the shoes. I like them. I like the uniform boots. They're cute. Because that's the important part, right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm getting from this episode. Okay, so back to Riker in his royal blue pajamas.
Yeah. That's a good color on him.
Yeah, matches his eyes.
Yeah.
And he's got a very sparkly pillow, which he like cuddles up to, and then he can't sleep. He feels something. He throws his freaking covers open, and it's my fucking worst nightmare, a bunch of snakes in your bed.
Yeah.
So I just wrote, nope, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. So then Data says that in like 6 hours, they could probably generate a burst of energy big enough to get them out. Will they? We'll see. Picard is worried about losing his facilities, and he watched his grandfather do so, and that's sad. And Picard's like, Data, you're basically fucking in charge at this point because you're the only one who's not affected. And Dr. C looks absolutely wired. She looks like a mad scientist in a way. I love Dr. C so much.
Yeah.
She looks like she almost was about to do like I was waiting like for a Kramer impression or something. So basically she's like, no one is dreaming except for Troy, but she's having nightmares. And so everybody's kind of losing it because they're not dreaming. They're not going into REM sleep. So like everybody's pretty much fucked at the moment.
Yeah. So you were correct. They're sleep deprived.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because they're sleeping, but they're not getting that good sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say something. I'm like, nope, don't. That's dumb. I know, me not saying something dumb. Wild. So, Dr. C's like, I tested the brain tissue sample from the Brittain crew and Enterprise. I'm like, whose brain did you touch on the Enterprise? That you're comparing samples to be like, yep, it's the same.
Well, I think she did brain scans on the Enterprise crew, and she compared them to like...
Yeah, I'm still thinking surgery, because she said like tissue. I was like, she's going into like how many dead bodies they got on that ship.
Well, yeah, I think she got tissue from the dead...
Makes sense.
Yeah, she got tissue from the dead bodies, but she just did scans on the alive crew.
Yeah. So like both have a unique chemical imbalance caused by dream deprivation. Because it obviously shows up on a test.
Yeah.
You do it and then you get the results and it says cause dream deprivation. Naturally. So like if people don't get to sleep, they're gonna go bonkers.
Yeah.
To say the least. Oh yeah, so that piece of shit guy Gillespie, who was like, I guess, talking shit with O'Brien earlier, starts talking shit about Picard. Yeah. And that's blasphemous. Get him out. Right to jail. Right to the brig. And he's like, Picard's leaving us here to die. And I'm like, he would never.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're lab rats. And Picard wants to see how long we can last. And Guinan's like, you want to fucking fight?
Yeah.
Guinan's like, absolutely not. Did I just skip a page?
Yeah, he's totally being paranoid and everything.
Yeah, he's not doing great. Nobody's doing great. Guinan seems to be okay, though.
Yeah.
I wrote, oh God. Then I wrote, Worf seems okay. And then they do an energy blast, and it does nothing. And then... I got so upset. So Worf just, like, exits the bridge, it just like books it out, goes to his quarters, gets out a dagger, he pours some kind of liquid on it, and I was like, what is he doing? And then he prays, and then tries to like is about to stab himself, and thankfully Troy like finds him and is able to talk him down, but like that fucking it wrecked them, that wrecked me. Oh my God,
okay,
Worf.
to be fair, this is something that, I mean, Klingons are still not particularly well developed, and the suicide thing is not really something they deal with too much in Star Trek, because it seems like Worf is one of the only people that takes this fucking thing seriously. I really hate to
Yeah.
break it to you, Dory, but Worf is like a traditionalist conservative. And he is really into all these old rituals and things like that that the rest of Klingons got over decades ago. And a lot of it is him trying to get in touch with a culture that he was never embraced by.
Yeah, it's less that he's like a conservative and more like he's just really into the religion.
Oh boy.
Like in
No,
traditions.
Which is wild.
he is real conservative about Klingon values.
That is true, yeah.
Well, I hated this. It made me really sad. And basically, Worf is feeling like shit. And he's like, he feels weak. So he has to die.
Yeah.
And it's awful.
Yeah. Unfortunately, ritualistic suicide is kind of part of Klingon culture, which we haven't seen very much. And, like, we don't see it often, but it is, like, it's not unheard of. That's
Because
a thing.
it's because now they're the Japanese, whereas they were the Russians in TOS.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like it.
Yeah,
And
it
I'm
was
glad
very
that-
upsetting.
Honestly, this was a good episode for Troy.
Yeah.
Like, this is for once a Troy. I wouldn't say necessarily it's a Troy centric, but a Troy featured, we'll call it.
Troy gets
Yeah,
to
she
save the
definitely
ship,
gets a
technically.
lot.
She gets
to
to do shit. She
Yeah.
actually, and it's not her trauma. She actually gets to do shit, and she actually does a really good job of like talking Worf down. And I never want to watch this episode again. And then she offers her hand to Worf to go to sickbay, and he takes it. And I'm just like, I hate everything, but I'm happy he's okay. And then
It was
okay,
very
back
cute
to
how he...
it was, yeah, he
Yeah.
took her hand and it was very nice. And then, back to that Hagen guy, the Betazoid. He keeps saying, he's like, eyes in the dark. And Troy's like, wait a minute, that's
I like how you say
familiar.
it back to him, since the episode has fully forgotten about him for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing
Yeah.
new going on with him, so, like, whatever.
Yeah, he's just lying there looking terrified, as one does when he's been through a traumatic event. And Troy's like, hey, that sounds familiar. And, oh yeah, so, like, this is... What did I write? Holy shit. I wrote, other beings are fucking up the crew's REM sleep frequency to try to communicate a distress call telepathically? Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they're like, Troy, you got to give them a message in her dream. We're going to inception this bitch. So, yeah, they go, one moon circle, hydrogen plus something, go boom.
Well, there's, like, a whole process. She, like...
Yeah, I'm not explaining it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I get it, but I'm not explaining it.
Yeah.
And any listeners who haven't watched it, you're not missing anything. They just talk about like, oh, what can go boom? It doesn't matter. Anyways, and Data's like, Troy, when you're there, you should just tell them to now. And
Yeah.
then boom. So yeah, everyone's looking real rough. Troy has like 2 minutes from like when she enters REM sleep to send the message. And then we have fucking Gillespie again. This fucker, he's like stirring shit up. And then even O'Brien is like, bro, enough.
Yeah.
Like, calm down. And then like a fight starts, and like Gillespie starts fighting O'Brien. And for the first time ever, I was like, O'Brien, kick his ass.
Yeah.
And then Guinan takes out a huge gun and just like fires it in a ship in space, which like, okay, I guess that works. Even though like,
Well,
I
it's
would think
only setting
logically-
one.
yeah, but like what kind of like damage? Like,
Yeah.
should you really be like shooting shit in a, like you're also in a room. Oh, well, would fake alcohol still be like flammable?
Well, it depends on, like, what kind, like... I don't know if the kind of ammo it uses can set things on fire.
It looked kind of fiery.
Yeah. Well, it's because she shot at the ceiling and, like, the sparks all came out.
Okay, so Troy successfully enters REM. Data fires red mist. It looked like something. Oh God, it's something from Star Wars, but I can't remember from. Oh, I remember. Okay, it's in the Last Jedi near the end. I think. There's like a thing with like red mist. Maybe.
Yes, there is.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
they're
what I
on
was
like
thinking
a
about.
really red, dusty planet, and so they use cool-looking red mist all the time in the shots.
I don't remember the planet looks like. I just remember the red mist or something. Because then Adam Driver gets angry because he can't see Mark Hamill.
Oh, because he sees the red mist,
Yeah.
which is
So,
like
okay.
a idiom for metaphor for being blinded by rage, seeing the red mist.
Are you saying that a Star Wars movie had an allegory in it?
Yeah, I'm saying they used visual language
That's fucking crazy.
to tell the
a hot
story.
take.
Yeah. They used visual symbolism in a movie?
Okay, so Troy just keeps. I just wrote, why doesn't she just give the message? Oh yeah, she keeps being like, "Where are you going? Where are you? Where are you?" I'm like, just tell them now. Like, you don't need to ask questions.
Yeah.
Just fucking say, like, listen, we're doing this shit. So then but then nothing happens, and they're like, well, I guess Troy didn't succeed. And then there's a big ass explosion, and they're out.
Well,
and
I
then
guess
like
Troy
a
succeeded.
blue, yeah, like this blue glowing thing just like flies by real quick in the other direction. And then, like, the set light just gets a little lighter.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. So everybody's good then. Well,
Yeah.
and so Data's last thing as acting captain is he's like, Picard, go to sleep.
Yeah. He's like, I order you to bed.
Yes. The end of this
Yeah.
episode.
The episode ending is
Forever
really
for me.
abrupt, actually. Like, it
Yeah.
just is just over.
Yeah, it is pretty abrupt. I have to say, though, I know you didn't have a fun time, Dory, but I really liked this episode.
Oh, God.
'Cause
I didn't at all.
No?
No.
I love this episode.
I think after getting through like about halfway or so, my immediate thought is nothing is actually happening to drive the plot forward at this point. There are lots of scenes of people, getting weird and going crazy and whatnot, but very few of those scenes are driving the plot forward at all. It's very
it's
much
just
a
the situation.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's just
very
getting
much a
worse
day in the life
externally.
of the ship, except by the way, shit's going nuts.
Like, I love when the team gets to do shit together, and I do like that it was like one singular plot with this, and that Troy got to do some stuff, which I really liked. And I'm not necessarily like opposed to some kind of like well, mixed of like a horror episode. I wish it was more like, I wish we saw actually like our main cast other like do something. Like, not Worf's do something, but like somebody else do something. Like, I don't know. I just wish there is, because otherwise it was just everybody looking like real rough the episode.
See,
and
for me, I like that because I don't mind the meandering, and I liked all the visuals, and I'm a sucker for atmosphere and spooky visuals and all that shit. So for me, it was just like candy. I'm just like, yum. This
Sadly,
is so good.
sadly, Maggie, I think this might be one of the better instances of Star Trek doing horror, though.
Oh,
which
yes,
is
absolutely.
disappointing because it's not a super impressive one.
No, but I think, like, for Star Trek standards, I think it's really good.
Okay.
Like I said, I love the music. I actually really liked the lighting in this episode. I liked the way they did the sort of scares and, like, showing everyone, like, with their freakouts. And I thought that it was actually a mystery with a satisfying solution. Like, the ending is abrupt, but I thought the solution to the mystery was satisfying. Like, I thought it was
Yeah.
a cool answer to what was going on.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I
Yeah.
think my sort of issue, I mean, other than like, I'm not a horror person, but I think also we just watched an episode where there was something draining the power out of the Enterprise, and we just watched another episode of something draining the power from the Enterprise,
Yeah.
like the pizza pocket clam.
I'm sorry, Dory, but it is definitely an issue that is common throughout Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like, I guess like it's just it's like an episode after another.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of it. If it was spread out a little bit more, I think it might have been okay-ish, but we just watched the Enterprise be drained.
That's fair.
And yeah, I wish there was like more of the crew having like reactions, because it was more, I don't know, other than Worf, everybody seemed pretty passive of like stuff they were doing. Even honestly, O'Brien got to like show more of like this affecting him.
Yeah.
Did you actually notice that
I mean-
Worf went from acting completely normal on the bridge to the very next scene that he's in, he's committing suicide, and it's like, all right,
Yeah,
that went from 0 to 100 fast.
Well, that's why in my note I wrote Worf seems okay when he's on the bridge, and then my next line I wrote energy blast does nothing, and then the next line I wrote Worf runs out to his quarters,
Well,
gets dagger, and then I'm like, wait, no, what? Like literally within 2 lines of each other, I was like, what is happened?
I mean, given how repressed Worf is, I imagine he's like, and that he's like a Klingon, I imagine he's pretty good at like hiding his turmoil
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like in real life, like it happens all the time. It's like, oh, they seemed fine, but then they hurt themselves.
I think you're
Yeah.
probably giving them more credit than they deserve.
Yeah, that's my job on this podcast.
Fair.
You know what this did remind me of? Not to bring it back to Teen Wolf. But there's an episode of Teen Wolf where there's like, I don't remember the exact scenario, but they're at some kind of like motel. I don't remember why, but everybody's like having paranoid and like fears and shit. And the said Teen Wolf almost like sets himself on fire, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. But it honestly reminded me like when Worf like went to because it's like an external sort of force making you like your worst fears and not being able to handle it, and this is the reaction, and it's just, it's heartbreaking. But it is wild. This made me think of Teen Wolf.
That's really funny. Yeah, we were talking about Doug Jones before we started recording, and trying
Doug Jones was in Teen Wolf.
yeah. No, trying to figure out what show he was in where he wasn't in makeup.
It was Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Season 3. That show is so fucked up. I mean, it truly makes absolutely no sense. Ugh, what a ride. Anyways.
Fun fact about this: Marina Sirtis flying through space was actually part of what was related to a request that she made earlier in the season, where she wanted like an action scene or two to come up for her, and this was her example of an action scene, and she hated it because she discovered while being suspended by wires that she is really afraid of heights.
Oh,
no.
shit.
Yes, good times. So
But
it kind of
also,
backfired
this
on her
was
there.
this is what they gave her as an action scene.
Yes, you are Superman.
So sad.
I'm definitely making a meme of that. You are Superman.
Oh my god. I will say, okay, the like dark green, like smokiness, and that like the eyes in the dark thing, the one moon, honestly, that creeped me out. That was creepy. It is too bad that it ended up them just being like, hey, this is what we have for an explosion. What do you guys have? Let's go boom.
Yeah.
And it's not like really the like scary bit, but I don't know. it yeah, I don't know. This episode. Was this by chance a spec script that went through revisions over 20 years?
This one was actually written by the same person who wrote The Most Toys, oddly enough.
Oh, your favorite.
I like The Most Toys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was really irritated by a particular thing in this episode that very much dates it, actually, regarding how they were going about the plot, and that is Troy doing the whole, "Oh, I've been teaching people to control their dreams" thing, and I'm just like,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 90s, we get it.
Well, that's a thing, right? They call it directed dreaming in this episode, but it's referred to as lucid dreaming nowadays.
I know,
So,
but like it was
that's
a
a
really
thing?
big thing
Yeah.
in what do you call it? It was a really big thing in both entertainment media in the 80s and 90s, but also in a lot of New Age philosophy,
Yeah.
specifically metaphysics.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah.
How would
That
that
seems
work?
like a very metaphysics thing.
How would this work? How could you control your... How does lucid dreaming work?
So you basically, like, it starts with being able to recognize that you're in a dream. So once you're able to recognize that you're in a dream, you're like, well, this is my own brain, so I can make anything happen. And it's a real thing. I used to date a guy who, like, had night terrors, and he learned to control them via lucid dreaming, so that he could, like...
Did he just always have really sexy dreams after that? Like he was like, "Oh, I'm in control. Great. Time for the biggest orgy."
I don't think so.
Well, that's no fun.
Actually, a lot of people report that, like, if they try to, like, you know, because of course people are gonna, like, try to, like, have sex with a celebrity or some shit, or, like, their
Yeah.
crush or whatever. A lot of people report, like, waking up before they're able to do it, because in their own
Oh.
mind, they know it's like, no, this is wrong.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. But yeah, no, lucid dreaming is a real thing. You can learn to do it. You can learn to control your dreams.
I have a lot of very vivid, stupid dreams. So I'd be interested to see if I could get myself out of my stupid ass dreams.
Yeah. One of the big things apparently in dreams is light switches often don't work properly in dreams, and clocks
Oh.
and anything with numbers on it usually look wrong.
I feel like I saw that in a show. Something with the clocks, the numbers looking wrong.
Yeah, and I have often had it in my dreams where I only realized after the fact, but it's a common thing where I can't get electronics to work properly. Like, I can't get my phone to work, or I'm trying to read a text on my phone and I just can't. So yeah, that's a pretty
Wild.
common thing in dreams as well, is like electronics won't work properly.
I don't think, as far as I mean, not that I remember a ton of my dreams, but I can't remember using electronics in my dreams.
Same. They,
Kind of
they're
tend to
just
be
never
very
there.
movie based, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is like a lot of my dreams I'm not even in. So it's
I
like,
was I had a dream when I was a kid, happened a couple of times, where I was living like Jumanji, but like then the Robin Williams version.
yeah.
And like, you know, the alligator down the stairs, but instead of Bonnie Hunt, it was Julia Roberts. Why? I couldn't tell you.
Eh.
But yeah. But Robin Williams
Ooh.
wasn't there. It's just like I don't
That's an interesting thing too, is that something about dreams is that you never make up a face in dreams. Your brain always supplies faces you've seen before.
Ooh.
So that means, like, if you see someone like you don't recognize in your dream or whatever, it's probably some rando you saw on the street, but your brain just remembered what they looked like. And it's like, all right, Their face is here now because we need a face.
Oh, great.
Wild.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I have been told is a little weird? I don't know if it's weird. I imagine this happens to other people. So, like, when I'm in, like, a deep sleep and I'm dreaming and, you wake up to go to the washroom or whatever, I can go back into my dream.
Oh,
Which to me, that's just pretty normal. But then I've had it one time.
that's very
I think it's only
unusual.
happened.
To be able to go
Okay.
back into the same dream, that's
Okay,
very,
so
very
then-
unusual.
Okay, so then maybe this is going to be bad then. I've had a 3-parter.
Oh, wow.
Like where I slept so long that I woke up twice to go to the bathroom. And then when I went back to sleep, I just continued twice.
Oh, wow. That's extremely
Yeah.
unique.
Okay, I thought
Yeah.
people did that.
No. That's usually the opposite.
Okay, I assumed people would have like maybe a 2-parter. I wasn't sure how many people do a 3-parter. But, okay.
Yeah. That's not necessary. I'm
Do I
not
need
saying.
to talk to somebody about this?
I mean, it's probably fine, but it's like it's not something most people can do.
This is my skill, other than
Yeah.
being able to put leftovers in any container that I look at that I'm like, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, this is my other skill. And it's useless. At least the leftover containers, that's helpful sometimes.
I mean,
They're
there's
just
a,
like really good at putting stuff in containers.
Yeah.
Fitting it perfectly. Yeah, this seems to be a useless skill/ability.
well, most people wish that they were able to continue on where they left off in a dream. I mean, depends if it's a good dream or not.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Definitely.
I don't. This happened. I think it's maybe only happened once. The 3-parter, and it only happened in the last year, I believe. Anyways,
Yeah.
wild. Okay,
But
well,
yeah.
maybe I'll do some googling about.
Lucid dreaming. Yeah.
Yeah, but also, can other people continue their dreams, or is something wrong?
Oh, I'm sure other people can. It's just, I
Yeah.
think it's a very rare thing to be able to do.
Well, here's my trick. I wear an eye mask because my old apartment used to face, like where I had my bed faced east. And when I moved in the apartment before like I could put up curtains. So I'd have the sun blaring in my eyeballs at 7 a.m. Until I ended up cutting open garbage bags to tape on my window. But yeah, I put the cut open garbage bags, taped them on my windows. Didn't look sketchy at all. And yeah, it wasn't great. So I got an eye mask, and I find if I have to go to the washroom in the middle of the night, I keep my eye mask on. And I just sort of like kind of squint with one eye underneath to like get to the washroom. And then like I don't take the eye mask off at all. So then when I get back into my bed, I just close the rest of my eye and I'm just out again.
Well, you
So-
live in a place long enough. You don't really need to see where you're going. You just know.
I mean, well, I haven't lived at this place that long, but the bathroom is like 2 steps from my door. Yeah, thanks for coming to Dream Corner.
Yeah.
I guess.
There's actually I read like there's a few different techniques to sort of recognize when you're in a dream. One that I read about one time was like every day you draw like a little dot on your hand or something like that, and then every time you see the dot, you stop and take in your surroundings to check if you're in a dream. And so you do that every single time, because then it instills that habit in you, and that'll follow you into the dream. So eventually, when you do that while you're dreaming, you'll be able to recognize that you're in a dream.
Wild.
It's like the thing from Inception where they're at the coffee shop and he's like, "How did we get here? Do you remember getting here?" You know.
Oh, but that happens to me when I go to the microwave. Like, I don't remember how I got to the microwave. That's in the laundry room, just steps from my room. It's just past the bathroom. So,
Maggie, if you dream in a dream, do you dream in real life?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's all a dream, Dory.
Maybe I just dream between my
Yeah.
bedroom and the microwave.
Oh, something. Okay, this is like only tangentially related, but like something that always freaks me out is like there's this sort of like urban legend of like this guy this face of this man who's appeared in like multiple people's dreams all around the world and stuff. And the
Ew.
fucking sketch of this guy creeps me the fuck out.
I don't want to see it.
Don't, because like paired with the story, it's very creepy because it's like it's like, have you seen this man like in your dreams and stuff?
Ew. Oh,
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's very.
I'm like
fucking
picturing
creepy.
like really wide open eyes though now. I don't like
Yeah.
it. I don't like it. Jeff, if you send it because you think it's funny, don't do it, please, because that's something you
Shh.
don't send it to me. Nobody send it to me.
So have we talked about everything we want to with this episode?
There is actually one more thing I wanted to bring out about it that's a little entertaining. So, the original footage of the episode, apparently they had a bit of an issue with it. They ran 9 minutes over after everything was said and done. And it's funny that they cut tons of stuff, and there still wasn't really much plot in the remaining episode.
I'd love to know what they took out.
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Because I feel like their judgment for this episode was like maybe not there.
Yeah. Here's the thing about me, is that I will take meandering as long as it's pretty and scary. If it's like very visually interesting and like makes me creeped out, I'm very happy to just like not move forward in the plot.
Ooh. Ooh. No, if it's something scary, I'd like it to move along so we can get out of the scary bit.
Yeah, makes sense.
I feel like this episode had potential for me, but just didn't. I mean, hello, pattern, is that you?
Yeah. All right, so I guess then we're good to move on to favorite moments and lines and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Favorite moments.
I like that Troy got to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm just looking through my notes. Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
All right. Jeff.
Oh, 1 sec.
Jeff, don't dream yet. We're still
I
recording.
can't dream. Whoa. Okay, so I actually really appreciated Patrick Stewart's performance in this because he doesn't have a huge role in the episode, but he does a really good job of doing physical acting with it. In that you can tell he's deteriorating throughout the episode. And I really like that because, like, even in the background, there'll be a scene where he has, like, I don't know, 3 words to say, and he'll be, like, half falling asleep. And you can see it in the shot. It's like that on purpose. And it's, I don't know, I thought he did a real good job of that throughout the episode. And a lot of the other characters didn't really pull this off because they had scenes that were more focused on them. So it wasn't, or they didn't really have the opportunity to. Especially when it came to Riker. I didn't feel like he did a great job of seeming more ragged as the episode goes on. However, given what happened in The Naked Now, which is sadly... The Naked Now, which is sadly an episode that's kind of related to this in its premise. Not premise, but its initial setup. It is...
Which is wild because I literally,
I
in
know,
my prediction,
I know.
I said it was going to be Naked Now.
Yeah.
wildly different tone than Naked Now.
Yes.
Yes.
The opposite.
Well, I think this is like arguably like just a spooky Naked Now.
Yeah, sure. I'll go with that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So anyway,
The
Riker
opposite day
very
of
much
Naked
manages to hold himself together in that episode. So I could see the argument working that this is a carryover of his character from that. So like yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We did comment when we watched that episode that it seemed like Riker was like immune to all this.
Yeah, he was able to keep his shit together with
Yeah.
it. And so yeah, I do appreciate Picard especially in this. And honestly, I quite enjoyed. God damn it! I keep yawning. Yes.
It's the aliens. They're getting to you.
Jeff's gonna just like sit
Honestly,
up and be like,
I
the
did quite
podcast.
enjoy. I quite enjoyed Worf's scene, his suicide scene there. I thought that was tastefully done, but also well acted by everyone there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick
It was
Stewart did on the note of his performance. I thought he did a really good job, a very realistic job of like forgetting the words for things or like forgetting what he was saying while he was saying it. And I don't think everyone did a very realistic job of that. And then, yeah, the whole Worf scene, it was very difficult to watch, but I thought it was well done.
Oh, I forgot. I liked the ding dong ditching.
Oh yeah,
Picard's ready room, and then the knock that it's Dr. C and Troy, and I liked Riker's blue pajamas.
Yeah. So I had quite a lot of things I liked in this episode. So, like you were saying, the sort of eyes in the dark, one moon circling, thought that was very creepy and cool. Like, I thought the whole green mist visually looked very, like, cheesy. But I liked the concept of it. I really liked the whole atmosphere and vibe of when Riker went back to his quarters and was, like, just, like, paranoid that someone was there. I thought that whole scene was, like, shot and acted really well. And my favorite thing from this whole episode and the visual that has stayed with me my whole life ever since I saw it was when Dr. Crusher was in the room with all the bodies.
I forgot about that. That was fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
That was the scariest part.
Yeah.
I think I wrote in my... Oh my god, did I fully just skip that in my notes?
You may have.
Because I think I remember writing, like, or people are going to sit up, aren't they? And then, like, everybody... I thought it was going to be one person, but when they all sat up...
Yeah.
Holy shit, that was actually scary.
Yes.
That was the scariest part, I think, of this episode.
Yes, I would agree. I fucking loved it so much. So, like, for people that haven't seen it, it's like... so Dr. Crusher's in this big room with all the bodies laid on tables, right? And they're all covered in these, like... sort of translucent white
like body bags.
Yeah, so like they're not completely clear, but like you can see a little bit through them. They're like frosted, and so she's all alone and she's like
frosted body bags.
Yeah. I mean, it is it's like frosted plastic. Yeah, so she's all alone and like doing doing more scans and shit, and you know she keeps hearing things and stuff, and then like, and then we cut to a wide shot and all the bodies are sitting up, and I really liked her performance when she was backing up, and she was like sort of unknowingly backing up like in between two bodies that were like sitting up, and then she like gets startled by seeing them, and she just like wills it away. Oh, yeah. That part of the episode is my favorite. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking scary and atmospheric, and that visual just sticks with me. It's literally the only thing I remembered about this episode, because I haven't seen it in fucking years.
Oh, I found it. I just wrote 2 lines. I just wrote, someone is going to sit up by Dr. C. Okay, all of them. That's fucking terrifying. Yeah, that was the scariest.
All right, so on to predictions for the next episode. So the next episode is called Identity Crisis. And We're using the Netflix description of this episode because neither of us can really remember. Like, I remember nothing and Jeff doesn't remember anything significant. So, the description is... Oh, I don't know how to pronounce this person's name. Alright. LaForge's friend, Lejten, expresses concern about the whereabouts of their former crewmates. Soon, both begin suffering worrisome ailments.
Oh no. Okay, so a Geordie episode, I guess.
Yeah.
LaForge. Well, obviously they have an identity crisis. Sorry, what was the, like, first bit of the...
So LaForge's friend expresses concern about the whereabouts of their former crewmates. Soon, both begin to suffer worrisome ailments.
Okay, so... Okay. I'm gonna, for the first time in a while, I'm starting off my prediction with... Okay, so they go to a planet. New planet.
Yeah,
It's
back to
been
the
a hot
classics. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. They find a new planet.
Mm-hmm.
They go, the away team goes down to investigate, and maybe Geordie and somebody, whoever this friend is whose name you can't pronounce, they get separated, and the farther maybe they get from the group, the less they can remember about themselves. But they think that maybe, like, the group, first they think the group has, like, wandered away from them, but then, like, the farther they walk and the farther they get, like, away from them, the less they can remember about themselves, but also, like, still thinking, like, that they're missing something, but not about themselves. They just keep thinking, like, there was more people, or maybe they remember one person that they're, like, they think they're looking for them or something. Yeah.
Okay.
So the farther you walk away, the less you can remember. Proximity memory.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Okay. So, if you want to see if Dory's correct, watch along with us and join us for the next episode of Fully Functional, a TNG podcast.
Goodbye.